In this video, I'm going to show you how to cite a source that you found in a library database. Citing database sources is usually very easy because library databases, unlike websites, typically provide a pre-formatted citation for you that you can copy and paste into NoodleTools. Now, the reason you should paste the citation into NoodleTools is because it will automatically be alphabetized in your bibliography, and it will allow you to link note cards to your source if you're using the note cards feature. So once you've logged into NoodleTools from your Google Drive account, you'll be taken to a projects page. And if you haven't already created a new project, you'll need to do that by selecting New Project and naming it here. But since I've already created a new project, I'm going to select it. It's called Reading. And once you select your project or create a new project, you're taken to the dashboard for that project, where you can add or learn more information about the project itself. But this page doesn't allow you to add new sources to your bibliography. Instead, you will need to click on the Sources tab to be able to add a new source. In order to add a new source, you'll need to click on Create New Citation. And then you're going to indicate that that new citation is from a database, so select the Database tab. And then you will see that there's a long list of different source options. You'll need to determine what type of source you're looking at within a database, since databases contain lots of different kinds of sources, like newspaper and magazine articles, journal articles, reference articles from specialized encyclopedias, photos, speeches, etc. Examine your source carefully to see if you can determine what it is. If you aren't sure, then you should probably select a reference source, which is down here, because many of our library databases contain a majority of reference sources. Reference sources are from specialized or general encyclopedias. Please note, though, if you're using ABC Clio, much of the content in that database is considered original content, so you would select original content. In this case, I am actually going to start by citing an article from ABC Clio's American History database, so I'm going to select original content in a database. Now you'll see that there is a form that I could manually complete by adding information about the article here, but instead I'm going to go up to the top under Quick Cite, and you'll see that there is an option to copy and paste a citation. So I'll go ahead and select Copy and Paste, and if I scroll down, you'll see that there's a box to paste in a manually edited citation. So I'll go over to my database, and you'll see in ABC Clio there is an option to cite this document right at the top. So I'll go ahead and click on Cite this document and scroll down in the window till I find MLA, which is the format we use at the high school, and I'll go ahead and copy or Command C the citation and go back to my NoodleTools, and in the manually edited citation box I will paste or Command V that citation. And you note at the top it indicates not to assume the citation is correct. Make sure that the formatting is carried through, and I can see that the American History title of the database is in italics, so the formatting was retained. I could put the copyright date of the source here, but it's typically contained in the pre-formatted citation, so you usually don't need to do that. You can see up here it says 2016. And then it asks for a URL, which is technically optional in MLA 7, but in MLA 8, which we will be moving towards soon, if we haven't already by the time you listen to this video, the URL is required. So let's go back to the database, and in this case the citation didn't include the URL, so I need to go up to the URL and copy it, Command C, and then go back to NoodleTools and paste the URL. The other nice feature about putting the URL in here is that NoodleTools will save it, and if you need to get back to the article itself, you can get there straight from your bibliography rather than having to go into the database and search for it again. Then there's a field for annotation. If your teacher requires an annotated bibliography, this is where you would type your annotation about the source. But this particular project I'm working on doesn't require annotations, so I can go ahead and click Submit to create a citation for that source. And you'll see it has been added to my works cited right here. It indicates it's from an online database. And you'll note that at the bottom it says there is a note. This is a copy of a pre-formatted citation. When you print or export your bibliography, that note will go away, but it is handy to remind you that that's where you got your citation. The other nice feature is over here, there is an option to view live web page. So since we pasted in the URL, I would be able to get directly back to the article by clicking on that link. And then over here under options, you can find options to add a comment to this particular source if you wanted to leave a comment for perhaps somebody you are collaborating with or with your teacher. You can edit here, you can copy, you can delete, you can even get information about an in-text reference, also known as an in-text citation or parenthetical citation. In this particular case, NoodleTools would not be able to create an in-text citation for you because the citation was copied and not put into each element of their form. But if you click on that, you will get lots of helpful hints about how to create an in-text citation of your own. I'm going to do one more citation for a database here just to demonstrate how different it might look if you're using a Gale database, because we have many Gale databases at our school. So I'm going to click on Create New Citation and select Database. And in this case, many of the articles from Gale are in fact reference sources, so I'll select Reference Source. And again, instead of completing the manual form, I will go to Copy and Paste under Quick Cite, select Copy and Paste a citation. Then I need to go to my article, and here it is, and I can click on Citation Tools within the Tools box, and then I can copy. Here's the citation itself, so I'm going to copy that separately from the URL, so Command-C, go back to my NoodleTools, paste it into the box, take a look and make sure it's complete and the formatting has carried through, and it has. Then I'm going to go back to the citation and grab the URL and copy that. And one thing I want to point out about the URLs in the Gale databases, you can see this URL is really long. And in fact, it is different from the URL at the top in the URL box. The URL here by the citation is the one you want to use. That is an enduring or permanent URL that will take you back to the article itself, whereas the URL in the URL box of your browser is actually a temporary or non-enduring URL, and if you try to use it to get back to the article, you'll just be brought back to the database itself and not the specific article. So be sure to select the one here inside the citation tools box right along with your citation. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that and paste it into the URL line in NoodleTools. And the other thing I want to note about both of the databases is that the citations appear generally in two places, somewhere in some kind of linked tools or cite box, as well as at the very bottom of the article itself. So if I scroll down here in a Gale database, here is my citation, and here is that long or enduring URL. And if I go back to the ABC Clio article, if you remember, we retrieved the citation from the Cite This Document link, but we could also have gone down to the bottom of the article and retrieved it there. They are the same citation. You can get it in either place. Now that I've pasted in the information I need and made sure it's accurate, and I am not going to create an annotation for this citation, so I'm just going to go ahead and click Submit. And you'll see that my reference source here from the Gale database appears here, and the live link to the actual article is there as well. So that's how to create a citation for different database sources. If you have any questions, please swing by the library and ask a librarian, or feel free to email or text us.